I'm good. I'm Gucci.
This is Mongolian Mindset, and today we got PC and Zara with us, and today we're gonna be typing fucking Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys franchise, and they are the America's team, right? So we're gonna be analyzing his personality to figure out like how did he become the franchise owner, and how has he not won a Super Bowl since then. We're gonna be dropping off our nuggets here and there about like what we think and what we see. PC and Zara, you guys got anything you want to say before we get into it?
Not particularly.
Well, I don't have much historicity about the guy,
All right,
but
guys.
I am interested to
Yeah,
see how
same.
this unfolds.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I'm from
guys,
Australia. I know enough about it, but yeah,
so we're gonna
yeah.
be following Linda Barron's interaction styles and Tiffany. We have a breakdown of all of these guys. These guys are one of our best typists outside of ourselves, right? These guys are guys. If you want to be typed, you come into the group and you're like, "Hey, Zara, PC, can you type me?" And these are guys who are gonna type you. They do a very good job because these guys are very close to
Um,
me. Yeah.
got to give some love to Nymira, man. She's joined the team as well, and she's doing really good stuff as well.
Yeah,
So got
yeah,
to show
her
some
too.
love.
Yeah. Um, So I mean, these guys are guys who probably going to primarily type you before you get to level 25 because you have to get to level 25 for us to type you. They're pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. They learn a lot of stuff from me, and they always ask me questions. And it's a wonderful fucking thing. I'm not even gonna lie. These guys, if they type you something, most likely it's gonna be there. So yeah.
What do they have Jerry Jones as on PDP?
All right. So
Personality type?
guys. They got Jerry Jones as a damn it, ENTJ. All right, he
Hmm.
doesn't have many votes, but he's the owner of the fucking Cowboys franchise. So usually they want to just say like an owner is always going to be an ENTJ. We
Uh-huh.
got our own fucking thing over here. So ENTJs are direct, the outcome, the control, strategic, systematic, pragmatic, TFI, and SENI, if and abstract. Okay, if he meets those messages, we will call him an ENTJ. If he doesn't, we'll find his actual personality type, guys, and we'll be knocking them off here as me, Zara, and PC go through all of that. Okay. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. Anything you guys want to say before we get into it?
I'm Gucci.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see how this unfolds.
You all on my own because I have a very, very special guest. He is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys himself. The man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Jerry Jones. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Well, it is special to be special.
Special to be special. That's FI.
That's some FI.
FI.
Yeah,
FI.
Special to
I'm
be special. Yeah.
I'm so
Immediately.
important.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
so
so
important. Like
sorry.
I didn't give a fuck about what you think. And like I'm important. I'm more important than everybody else. TFI guys. More in the land of FI, but they're on the axis together,
yeah.
guys. So you
Yeah.
get TFI.
How
Good
you
to be
doing?
with you. Good to be
It's
with you.
great. It's great to be here with you. Let's get this out of the way right now. It's great to see you. It's great. You look good. You seem like you're feeling good. How are you feeling about your Cowboys this upcoming season, sir?
Well, I feel a lot better than some of the critiques that maybe I'm getting more than they are, but I'm sensitive to them.
Okay.
But I'm
That's
frankly a little
some
surprised.
FIT. Yeah, some
FITESE.
FITE. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll see.
FIT, my critiques. Oh my God, what the media is saying
and
about me, like
And a
the
little bit
T
at, yeah.
TE comparisons. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the media saying this about me. Like, oh my God, I'm sensitive. FI, like, yeah.
Mm.
I'm surprised that it isn't more apparent to fans that we put an outstanding team together. I think the team is in better shape to roll than it was last year,
Really?
and I do. And we got critical.
T comparison from last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we got here. I think we got a direct T user to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Criticized in the off season about that we weren't out after the big names in free agency. We
The
were
big names,
big
TFI
names.
good.
Yep.
Yeah.
criticized because we had some special or have had special contracts for some key players, with, frankly, in my opinion, most of the thing to watch for on those key veteran players, Lamb, of course, Dak Prescott,
Of course.
and maybe even Parsons.
What we would say to Czar?
More TEFI. Most
I'd also,
important
I'd
is
probably, I'd probably even give him a hit for TI because he's talking about his own opinion.
Yeah. So that means that this is somebody who has a TE and they have a TI somewhere higher up, right?
Yeah.
Because they're talking about their own opinions.
between their nemesis and critic.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
someone there. Yeah.
The
Just
key
for the
thing to
audience.
remember about them is, except for Lamb, that's not this year. That's not 2004.
Right.
That's about the future from 2004.
Oh, future abstract.
Yeah,
NI.
future focus. That's abstract. That's hitting for abstract. Okay, he's looking like he's an
And it's-
NTJ. He's looking like he's
Yeah,
an
and
NTJ.
it's NI abstract because it's what could be.
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
yo, this is what's
Oh
gonna
no,
happen.
sorry, not what could be, what will be, what will be. Yeah, so it's NI. Yeah,
What he's saying right now is like, oh, okay.
NTJ man. He's
NTJ,
one of the
he's
NTJ. Yeah.
He's an NTJ. We gotta find him out. Is he NTJ or INTJ? We gotta figure him out.
I'm talking about the discussion, the contracts, of those type of things. And of course, I'm wearing it on my sleeve a little bit because I actually, Steve, I am a pleaser.
Okay.
It bothers the hell out of me to really get critiqued and criticized,
All right,
especially
so
if
he
they
doesn't like to be critiqued and criticized. So that means he's wearing FI on his sleeve, right? The NTJs, whether people realize or not, we wear our FI on our sleeve, right? If you critique or
That's-
criticize us, we do wear it on our sleeve.
Yeah.
Whether people realize it or not, we do wear it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You
I'll
can
go
trigger.
so far to say, yeah, I'd say that sounds like inferior FI to me. Very pessimistic. It's not very, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing about FI in general with the child or what you call it, if you attack it enough, you can get a response out of us. That's the takeaway from here. As sad as it is, we are very confident individuals, but simple fact is that we do wear our, like, you can see our emotions. If you're paying attention to us, you can see it, right? Create enough chaos, ENTJ going crazy. Create enough like turmoil, INTJ going crazy on you as well. Say enough bad critiques, INTJ gonna say something. We care about our critiques. It is what it is. We try to hide and lie about it, but it's reality. While as ZAR and PC or FE inferior, they care less about it. They're all about the truth, right? As a little bit of us, we care about the truth, but we also care about our own feelings. Right? We want to be on the right side of the truth, right? As those guys less care about being on the right side of it, they care about the truth, upholding the truth. They're TI heroes.
are getting near the red meat, and they're getting in there where I'm double sensitive about it. But there's not many things about the Cowboys that I'm not sensitive about.
Right. Well, it's hard to see because I mean, you look every time I turn around, you got a smile on your face, and you should, by the way, because a franchise that's worth over $10 billion, practically double of what the average salary of the average franchise in the NFL is worth. That's a lot to smile about. But I'll go back to you when you talked about getting to the red meat and being sensitive.
All right, so like, listen to Stephen A. Smith. We've already typed him INTJ.
Yeah. TE comparisons.
He's driving
Talking
TE.
about the value of the organization. Oh my God. Lathering Jerry Jones up.
Oh my God, like it's crazy.
Specifically, when you talk about the Dallas Cowboys, here's where I've been critiqued. I've been critical. I thought you should have went and got Derrick Henry. I thought that monster of a running back out of the backfield was somebody that could be a security blanket for somebody like Dak Prescott. That's the only thing that I thought about when it came to you guys and what I thought you were lacking. Answer me that question. Why didn't you go after Derrick Henry?
First of all, we might have a little difference as to what we were lacking the most.
Fair enough.
It is very common, matter of fact, the rule, that when you look at a coming season, you've got some soft spots
Okay.
in a football team or in any team, I think.
You've got some soft spots, SC and I. It's
Mhm.
SC. You've got like, the highly placement of SE. SC is gonna be attached to you.
Mhm.
And so it's a question of where do your resources, where do they need the areas that need the most attention? And
So what it
That's
said
some
here is
TE.
TE, like marshaling resources. That's a TE
Yeah.
Yeah.
approach to a lot of things, right? So
Mhm.
we realize this.
Stru-
Let's go ahead and knock him.
structure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Structure and organization. Yeah.
So can we go ahead here for TE and FI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jones.
It's
Right.
TE maxing.
He's a team.
Yeah.
I like that. So he's directing TE guys.
Yeah.
So based off the chart here, being direct in TE, there you got ESTJ, we got ISTJ, we got ENTJ and INTJ, right?
Uh-huh.
But we got a little bit pictured in some feature focus on Jerry Jones. So looking like he's an NTJ guy, but we're gonna not rule anything out. It's early in.
candidly, I thought in Zeke that we really had an opportunity. I know that how badly he wanted to get back with the Cowboys.
I know how badly he wanted to get back with the Cowboys. That's any statement. But just got some SE there.
Personally thought that his work there in New England was better than maybe a lot of other people evaluated it. I
Other
thought
people
he did carry
evaluated
the mail
Evaluated.
at some critical times
So like he's talking about evaluated TESE. That's TESE.
TESE.
Yeah, TESE.
Yeah.
for them. And by the way, I saw those old boys getting up with that Jimmy Brown look, the way those players used to look when I was watching him on television, and they'd look like they'd just hit a brick wall, or an old Jimmy had just ease up. I saw some of that still in the way that New England with Zeke got the job done in the running game. I have more belief that Zeke gives us what we need in our short yardage than
Believe TFI.
Yeah.
maybe a
Yeah,
lot of fans
this
do.
But he's literally a slave to TFI. I'm not even like bullshit. Like this guy's literally a slave to TFI.
I was going to say
I want a
you
contest
could.
between him and Donald Trump for TEFI.
I was going to say at this point, I would be safe ticking off SENI.
Yeah, you're going to
Yeah.
knock it off. So we got NTJ with Jerry Jones here. Like we can't get away from it being him. All right, guys, I'll be honest with you. This guy's a fucking Enneagram 3. Like, just shut the fuck up. His guy's 3. He's 3W4, bro. Like, like it is what it is. Like that is what it is, bro. He's an achiever. He's all about his vision. It is what it is. We can always submit that.
You clearly didn't have any doubts about CeeDee Lamb. He's clearly one of the best wide receivers in the world. Nevertheless, when everybody and their grandmother looked at it and said, this is his market value, 4 years, about 136 million, about 34 million per year, what have you, we sort of knew that ultimately the conclusion that was reached would be reached. Yet it took you practically all summer and all off season to make the deal happen. Why was that?
Now let me get this straight.
Yes, sir.
We're not we're questioning whether or not I had the same evaluation of C.D. Lamb because I was a little slow in people's opinion about getting him on paper.
Okay.
When he got on paper, did you see how much went on paper?
Yeah, I did.
Did
Now,
you
the
see
same-
how much went on paper? That's
SE.
TFI, SENI, like it's fucking crazy, bro. It's fucking crazy, bro. And he's responding, bro. He's INTJ.
Same guy that was slow is the one that wrote that number on that paper and signed it.
Right.
There was never any question about how we felt C.D. Lamb was as a football player,
Right.
or what he could do to basically help our team.
But Jerry, that's what feeds into my question. We know you didn't doubt it. We can see that. So somebody is looking at Jerry Jones and they're saying, this man knows what he's doing. He knows what a talent he has. He knows he's going to sign this guy. What takes
You
him
know
so
what? The biggest thing I want to say right now is that Jerry Jones is 80 years old. So to
90,
be
I
with,
think.
huh?
Actually, I think 90s.
I think he's eight. I'm gonna say 80s. I'm just like whatever. But like for this guy to be able to articulate himself the way he does at his age is insane, and to do what he's doing, right? So shout out to that guy, bro. Like not taking anything from Jerry Jones. Like he's a very articulate human being, but he's got TEFI fucking stinking in it. He takes showers in TEFI.
Let me see here. 82. Okay, he is
82.
82.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, just wanted to check.
No, I was just like, yo, he's stinking in TEFI though. Like
Yeah.
for an older person that can articulate themselves on the level that he does, it's insane because a lot of people have, like Alzheimer's and shit like that. Like as you get over 65, the Alzheimer's rate like drastically increases. People don't really know about those numbers, but it drastically increases as you get over 65. And this he's speaking his mind. He's still running the Cowboys at his advanced age. So shout out to him. Big up him.
long? So how do you answer the question about what took you so long when you knew exactly what he was worth and what you were going to do in the end?
I haven't, and I'm not trying to be cute,
Okay.
but I don't see any rewards or I don't see any penalties on your timer. On does he get on the field, and is he on the field when he ought to be out there? And so I had no urgency at all about getting him to the field. Now I'm sensitive about what fans and all of the ones that are against the Cowboys as well as all the ones that are for the Cowboys. And I want to look good as well as anyone else.
I want to look
Can't
good.
even help it. Bro, he can't even help it. Bro, have you seen a motherfucker that's like a spokesperson for NTJ? Like, bro, Jerry Jones spokesperson of NTJ. Like, I want to look good because that's what I tell a lot of people, bro, you want to look good. It's crazy.
But it was important for us
Important FI.
on every aspect to really try to husband as much of the resources
TE.
that would go in Lamb's direction. It was critical for us to husband $1,000, $50,000, $100,000,
TE.
because in our system, that's that much
In our system, we got to be systematic.
more that we've got to pay Parsons, or that's that much more for us to pay that young offensive lineman that we want to renew his contract 3 years from now.
You're talking about 3 years from now, NI. You see that? 3 years from now,
3 years.
NI. He's not talking about today. He's like, hey, what we're doing today, it may cost us, but we're not living in today. We got to think about the future. So NI.
It's a zero-sum game. And by the way, this isn't the world's smallest fiddle here. Boy, I'm so lucky to get to do this. But also know that just because you have $1,000 in your bank account, have you ever thought that you may owe $3,000 back over here in bills? And so when you see that and you say, well, I've got the money, I'm going to go do it, unless you look around the corner a little bit, you may not be able to do it. I'm looking at all times, certainly the short-term part of any contract with any player. But I'm also looking longer term. I have to look 3 years down the road, if you will, sometimes maybe 5 years down the road. I have a very good feel, as good as anybody, about what the future is going to be for the teams in the NFL regarding revenue.
So he's NI maxing.
And I hear maxing T.
Like, yo, you hear, like, that's what I said about people. Like, if you put people like, oh, you can't listen to somebody else, but they will literally give you their secrets to what make them who they are. If you actually fucking listen to him, you listen what he said. I'm not looking. Hey, I'm looking in the future. I'm looking 3 years. At the
3 years, 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Usually I look about
very long term. Very long term.
Yeah.
Usually I look about a 10-year span.
Yeah.
I understand it very well. I've spent 35, 40 years doing almost nothing but thinking about NFL, the revenues.
This
how
is your
can we
36th
come
year
better?
coming up. This is your 36th year coming up.
36 year.
Yes.
And by the way, I coveted being in the NFL. I was looking at it 4 or 5 years before that.
You wanted a piece of the Chargers at the time.
4 or 5 years before that. You see, this guy has a president for thinking future focus. I think this guy's an INTJ. I'm not getting ENTJ vibes from him. I get more INTJ vibes from him.
I want to
If I
get some
remember correctly.
progression out of him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Exactly, exactly. My point, without being long-winded, is this is a long.
The reason why he's
range.
talking about being long-winded is progression.
Yeah, that is progression, right? He was just starting one.
Yeah, because the reason why he says I don't want to be long-winded is because he has to make himself go through his progression. Like, this is what I started step 1, this is step 2. Like, it's like an
Yeah.
essay. Like, a lot of people struggle to figure out if somebody direct or not. It's essay statements, right? The more direct progression they are, it's going to be essay style. Like, they're going to be like, this is my initial thesis or whatnot. This is my body of work, and this is my conclusion, right? But all of it is like
Body paragraphs. Yeah.
it's so like
Transitions, sentences. Yeah.
it's so it flows in itself and it's closed ended. So like you will notice that with them a lot of times. But there's our first progression statement from him.
Yeah.
I said I think he's INTJ. He seems to be more responding here.
I was going to say,
I just wanted to hone in on that.
Yeah, I
What's
was
up?
noticing in the conversation with responding people, it's like tossing a tennis ball between two people. I throw it to you, you throw it back. And that seems what it is. He's not really trying to lead the dance of the conversation.
Mhm.
He's very much just responding to everything that's happening. So yeah, I would go so far to say he's direct responding movement. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's looking like he's got his INTJ. We're gonna go a little bit more because me and PC and Zara got a lot more people to type. So here's what
Yeah.
it is.
Change life that you have to deal with in intermittent short-term decisions in many cases. CD's contract had everything to do with how important he was to the future of the Dallas
FI.
Cowboys. It had
Future,
everything to do with
abstract,
rewarding him
Future.
for how he had evolved as a key player for the Dallas
evolve,
Cowboys.
Progression.
But it also had everything to do with how he was going to fit in our picture years down the road.
By the way,
NI.
this is Stephen A.
NI.
Smith show. You ain't
Picture,
being edited. You can be as
especially.
long-winded as you want to.
Image,
You
picture,
don't
NI.
worry about anything. It's going to be in there. We're not
Well,
cutting.
quit kicking me on the ankle.
We're not cutting out anything. But let me transition from CeeDee Lamb to your quarterback, and I'm going to be very delicate with what I'm asking because we all know what's going on with Dak Prescott, and there are things I'm smart enough to know
You
that.
see, like he's not jumping to interject Stephen A. And I know it's an interview and everything. And he's 82 years old, but like this guy is a great person, and he could inject if he wanted to. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he could. And he's not. So
I've also got to give the Jerry Jones a bit of credit, man, because for a systematic person, he's incorporating other people's interests into his forward projections, like especially with contracts and stuff. And a lot of systematic people don't. They just, you know what I mean?
But-
So yeah, I got to give him some fucking kudos for that, man. So
yeah, that's reason why PC we get into development. You got to remember that
Yeah.
when you're watching the interview, you're not just typing people. You also think about their development, right? Jerry Jones, above average prodigy level. That's what we're dealing with this person here.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because the thing is INTJs a lot of times think that people don't really matter, but people like Jerry Jones understand that they do matter.
yeah.
Yeah.
a negotiation that's taking place.
What were you gonna say?
You can't treat people like they're disposable over time, because if you do, essentially that'll lead to utter decay in the long term. If you want to build an organization or anything, and you got to not view people as numbers, but you have to view people as the persons that they are, to keep your organization in sync and flowing towards that vision.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll just say from my point of view, I've always had dreams of being like Dracula, and what that means for me from an abstract port of space is like Dracula's a person who's absolutely all alone. He has his castle. Like, yes, he has all his fame, he's got all his money, but he absolutely has nothing behind himself, right? So I realized that like that was my future, and I didn't want to be that person. So what I have to realize is that these people who do things and they're there for me, they're important for a reason, and I'm willing to ride behind the people because the simple fact is I'd rather go down with the ship with my people than like survive by myself because
Well,
by yourself is
if you
basically death.
well, if you look at human evolution, we grew in like tribes, and that's how we formed and evolved because we aren't the strongest species. We don't have horns, fangs, and we can't compete against lions, of course. So what we did was gathering tribal groups and went along together, built weapons and tools and exchanged and goods, and then essentially we created societies, and then from there we see humans as we are today as the most dominant species on Earth. Due to that, it wasn't because we're the strongest. We can't fight baboons, so you have to look at it that way.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I just think about it from that perspective, because I can be very like I have a tend to narcissism behind my thinking a lot of times. So
Yeah.
so like but it helps you to realize that I'd rather be there with my team, the people that I started things with, because that's more important to me because I can sit back and I can laugh. Hey, PC, you mean we shit at those motherfuckers? They fucking was trying us and we fucking did that shit and we did, yeah, that's more important than me just being like, I have nobody to be with that with, you know. So like I'm always gonna think long term and I'm always gonna think about my team. Um
Hmm.
but I've always been
Yeah.
haunted by the Dracula dream, like since I was a kid. Like so it is what it
Yeah.
is. I
Yeah.
think Jerry Jones understands that.
Hmm.
Understand what I'm saying? Only a fool talks about their own negotiations while their negotiations are taking place. I would know that from personal experience right now. But I have to ask you, when you talk about looking ahead and looking to the future,
Oop.
how much of that thought process is applicable to your quarterback, considering what the quarterback market has dictated with everybody from Trevor Lawrence to Joe
He's
Burrow to Jordan
responding.
Love? The list goes on and on. How much does that factor into your thinking, knowing what the market says it is about the most important position in football, which is the quarterback position?
Well, I'll tell you this, you've nailed it with your question
You nailed it,
and the
SE.
ground that you have to cover. Again, Dak is a long-term decision for the Dallas Cowboys. I think Dak, one of his unique things is that he's going to be able to, his makeup, what he is, his skill levels, what he is as a person and a quarterback will age well as you look at quarterback age and viability. I think it will age well as he moves into the next 5 or 10 years of his
Progression.
life. I think he's the kind of quarterback that gets better and better.
Progression.
We
better.
certainly know that time, oh
Progression
Father Time,
maxing.
that it makes
And
a
I.
big difference as we get older. But quarterback is a place that experience can manifest itself and wins.
And I manifest.
Also, the hard times, the mistakes that have been made, if you've got the right kind of makeup, that's a plus. You need rewarded for having gone through that because you, not
SE.
Stephen A. I'm pointing to, I'm talking about Dak Prescott. You know
SE.
how to use a hard
SE.
time and turn it into an asset. He does that. It's one of his qualities.
What
So
evidence
Failing
is there of
forward.
that, though, Jerry? Because I'm
Progression.
thinking about
Progression.
I know that he's
Are we
Progression.
done here?
Yeah.
Are we done? Are we done? Are we done,
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah, man.
We got him.
We got him. He's
We got him.
INTJ. Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys. He's INTJ, guys. So INTJ here. It's great,
What
man.
is it about two INTJs in a room together that just it's like you got to leave them to say, "Hey, man, you guys get a room." Like it's like that Morgan Freeman interview, man. I don't know what it is about them.
We. Yeah.
So guys, what you will see about INTJs is they're responding. So like Jerry Jones wasn't initiating, he wasn't changing anything. I know, guys, he's 82, but Jerry Jones has accomplished quite a bit. If he wants to overassert you, he can and he will do that. But that's not his name of the game. His information goes to the back of his brain, and once he receives the information from the back of his brain, he will respond to you.
Yeah.
Be a la an introvert. He's abstract, right? So he's very future focused. Everything Jerry Jones as he talked about. He's in a. I want to tell a lot of people in their position that they're in for a reason. They don't just do it
Hmm.
for like no reason. He's in that position because he's future focused and he used that to get what he wants. He's systematic. He's more interested into the system behind things and not people's interests or motives, right? Even though PC picked up on it, like he picks up on people's motives, and but he takes that into account, right? Because if you want to dial yourself into the next level, you got to do both. But his initial perception is to be systematic.
System
Um,
a
he's
journey as
pragmatic,
well.
so his focus is on what's effective. First
Hmm.
on and first most is what's effective. Outside of that, he will look at and check the status quo behind it, but it's effective. Like what works, what can be done to improve, his autonomy, his own independence. And the guy was pretty direct, right? It's very specific, concise to the point. Like as the Christian says, he literally dials it up essay format, right?
Hmm.
That's one thing that you will notice about fucking direct people is they don't like switch up and they don't and when they talk, it's like a very the format is very clear, right? When informative people it kind of dissipates a little bit. It kind of like dissipates. And he's journey. We know it's the Buddha. He's focused on the progression, the journey. How does he get there? SENI. NI is fucking wailing out there because he's so future focused. And his TEFI was there from the beginning. Guys, what do you guys
Hmm.
think he is on the road to demigod?
He's pretty
Uh,
damn
pro
good.
I would say, let's say Prodigy.
Prodigy level?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say he's prodigy level. He's a prodigy level because he's accounting for other people's interests and his own their own feelings and stuff. I think he doesn't
He's
get
just
that
so
enough.
sometimes he's just too future focused to the point where he doesn't see the immediate outcome for his team where he really should place them.
He
He's
should.
always making 5 year projections where he should probably maybe narrow it down to two or
Mm-hmm.
three
Mm-hmm.
and get results a little bit faster. But yeah, he's ultimately a very developed INTJ.
INTJ. Yeah, because a lot of INTJs don't really take into account of other people's feelings. A lot of times, if
Uh-huh.
you want to look at a fucking shitty version of an INTJ, not shitty version, but like a normal version, you look at Bill Belichick, right? His biggest problem is like he didn't account for other people's feelings, and the trickster will come back to bite you harder than anything else. Like everybody's so
Hmm.
on the
Oh yeah.
guard of like their inferior function, but the trickster's the one that's like when you think you got everything counted out. Haymaker, you're asleep. Like you got knocked out
Hmm.
by Mike Tyson. Um, and that's the big problem there. So we got him for Prodigy INTJ3W4. Guys, what are we thinking for his subtype?
Oh, that's uh
Mm.
okay, so NI actually, let's have a look.
I think he's dominant, guys. I think it's clear dominant. Because he's very focused on TE, like being a manager or whatever the fuck that shit is.
Uh-huh.
And he's got his own
Owner.
vision. He's got his own vision, so it's a visionary. So I think Jerry Jones is dominant. Like he's
Yeah, I don't know the subtypes that well. I mean, I've looked at the chart
so
before, but
Oracle is kind of like they're like interweaving things behind the scene and
yeah.
allowing it to come to them. While like
Hmm.
somebody who is dominant in eyes, like they have a vision for the future, a
Hmm.
few singular points, and that's what it is, right? And then TE that's like
Yeah.
dominant is like business oriented
Yeah.
versus like economical. So he's dominant INTJ.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. Um, any takeaway, guys, you want to give for like pointers for people who watching this video that might be an INTJ or anything like that?
Look for other people's interests, delegate, look for opportunities. Even if you have a set future, maybe look at a slightly different paths you can take to expedite that vision, especially if you can, even if that goes against the grain of your image that you see yourself going. So you can sort of be a little live, maybe be a little more open minded, but you don't need to be all over the place.
Hmm.
Not suggesting that, but
Yeah, PC,
just
anything?
consider your options.
No, no, you pretty much got it, man. Just not being too close-minded. I guess you could say just be a little bit more present focused. And eyes
Mhm.
can be lost in that, you know what I mean? And you kind of have to smell the roses, so to speak, sometimes. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, this dude's pretty fucking integrated. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what else is like, guys, if you're looking at Jerry Jones and you kind of want a future that's similar to Jerry Jones, you gotta be willing to do the work. right? That's first and foremost. If you're not willing to do the work, you're not going to get the results. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter if you're an INTJ, it doesn't matter if you're ISFJ, it don't matter what the fuck you are, you got to be willing to put in the work, right? Jerry Jones was willing to put in the work, he was willing to put in the risk to get to where he is, right? So you got to do your math, you got to do the homework behind it, and you got to put yourself out there. If you're not putting yourself out there, you will never get those results that Jerry Jones has.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at the same time, being systematic, I understand being systematic. You don't want to like subscribe yourself to a system because that system worked yesterday or it worked last time. That doesn't mean it will continue to work. That's the biggest problem with being systematic, right? So you got to
The
realize
formula
that
evolves.
the yeah.
Yeah.
The formula has to evolve as time goes on.
So like you can't get too caught up on like, oh my God, this move worked last time, so I'm gonna continue to do it. You gotta look for different ways. A lot of times you gotta just think to yourself, like, I got lucky. That's my mindset when I win something based off a system. It's like, that formula works, but I just got lucky, right? So I have that formula brewing behind the scenes, but I go about it a different way. Like, I kind of
Mm-hmm.
like see how if I'm playing chess or something, like that formula, like I let it brew differently. But if you think that the same thing is gonna work every time, you're gonna lose. And also takes into account of other people's feelings. Like that's a very powerful mechanism. People don't realize that like people care about how they feel more than anything else in this world.
Mm-hmm.
You be the smartest person in the world, but if people don't like you or they don't care about you, you will go nowhere. It's been littered. History's literally been littered with people like Czar's personality type, Nikola Tesla, Einstein, all these guys they get taken advantage of, right? Because they don't understand the human aspects of life. So that's one thing that you can understand from and I that guy that his INTJ because he's an FE trickster is the lowest that it can be. But he takes the time to care about other people. Anything
Which
else,
is
guys?
good. I was going to say that's a really good thing on his part because um, your FE trickster could really screw you over if, let's say, you're a manager.
Hmm.
Because if you start fucking with your star players, they could easily stab you in the back by changing, going to another club, and leaving you up shit's creek without a paddle. So yeah, you definitely need to watch out for. Just don't be an idiot with your FE trickster. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, also like you got to get people to buy in, right? Because if I get somebody to buy in long term, it goes beyond just who their contract is, right? Maybe in the future they'll come back and we'll do something else or do
Mm-hmm.
something else, right? As long as you keep that system alive, then the system keeps rewarding you. Like like you don't like if
It's
you're not
compound
interest person,
interest.
you're not interest, but if you do the right things, your system will continue to reward you. And
Yeah, it's
that's the
compound
difference between
interest over time.
yeah,
mm,
It
yeah,
pays dividends.
yeah. So guys, that's Jerry Jones. We're out of here on that one. Yes, sir. Anything?